Hello and welcome back to JP Gaming. Today in Kerbal Space Program we will try at least and put up some sort of relay network. Because my plan is that now, I think at least, I have unlocked the biggest relays. Let's check that first. Yes, we have. We have these, the RA100 relay antenna. And we're gonna use these, we're gonna build some probes, put them up there, and I wanna put them up in at least close to geostationary orbit. I'm probably not gonna get it all the way there, in terms of preciseness, because I'm just not that good at the game. And I'm also just not that interested in having that orbit totally perfect. I just want to have something put up there. And having this on kind of looks a little wonky, but it's gonna have to do, because this is the biggest and the best probe, or probe that I have right now. So I'm gonna be using that. We're gonna have the small reaction wheel because we don't need that much reaction control. And I'm gonna put on another battery on here actually, just so we have a little bit of extra power. Let's take 2 solar panels. I think that'll be enough. And then I will also put on one of these, because I don't think we've used the gravity scanner or the GravMax as it's called. I don't think we've used that one yet. Let's put these into action group as well. So we're gonna have that on and make a whole bunch of science from just orbiting around Earth basically. Okay, now we need some sort of fuel stage for this. Oh yeah, and also I have gotten the mod Fuel Tanks Plus. Yes, that's what it's called. And basically what that gives me is a whole bunch of different nose cones and tanks and stuff that are just a little bit different from the original tanks. Like for instance, we have we have this one. That is like a triangle, kind of. And you can also change some of these, at least. You can change what kind of fuel you have in them. And they're not that efficient though, because I realized that this small one, has about as much fuel in it as this big one. As you can see, this has 22.5 liquid fuel and 27.5 oxidizer. This has 18 liquid fuel, and I mean 2 of these will then have more than 1 of these, and I don't know, that just doesn't add up. I don't know what else, there's nothing else in this. But the cool thing with them is that I can change what fuel I have in them. So I can have Exxon gas, that's a pretty good amount, 14,000, and I can just have monopropellant in them. There's also some others, like these ones, that I have actually had some use for, that I can just fill up with one type of fuel. Like for instance now, liquid fuel. You can also change that to just be oxidizer, Exxon gas, monopropellant, or which is kind of cool as well. Especially that I can have the liquid fuel in them, because then I can build crafts with the nerve engines, and just they're just way better. I think though that I am actually gonna have the nerve engine on these, because I need quite a good amount of delta V to move these around. I wanted to build them really small, but I think this might be my best option when it comes to fuel efficiency. Maybe, at least. I'm gonna try and see if we were to like slap on 2 of those, then 1 of these. That's just 1,000 meters per second. Okay. So I'm gonna play the safe card and I'm gonna go with these, can drag these up a little bit. And I think we'll need more than 3,000. We're probably gonna need something like 5,000. And 2 of those did it. Perfect. So this is gonna be the relays that we're gonna send up. I'm gonna send them up one by one instead of sending up like 5 at once. Or maybe I should send up more. Maybe I could do that actually. My initial plan was to just send them up one by one. Because I just want to have 2 in like geostationary orbits and then 1 in a big polar orbit. But then again, maybe I can send up the 2 that's going to geostationary orbit at the same time. Yeah, why not? Let's see if we can make that happen. If I put this fairing on the intersect nodes, let's just take something and see. Where are those nodes? Okay, those nodes stop up here. Those nodes are not tall enough. So screw that idea. And let's get those off again. Put some struts on that. And build up a fairing. And we will just send them off one by one. But of course, I am gonna save this so we don't have to build a brand new one when I'm gonna be sending this up, or when I'm gonna be sending up the next one. So we're just gonna go in here again, pick up the next one and send that out. And let's name this Geo-Earth Relay. So I know what it is. Okay, now let's build a stage underneath here with a little bit of fuel. I think I will take the skiff engine. Kind of like the skiff. It looks pretty cool, I think. And then of course a decoupler, and now for the bigger stages. And let's see. Let's use these ones. These are from the mod. We have the original one, if you would. I think is this size of the 2.5 meters parts. This is the biggest one normally. And then now we have this one, which is a little bit bigger. So we will start out with one of these. And then we will build on that, I think. See, how much thrust do we have with just one of them? 1.51. Okay, that's pretty good. So technically we do have enough just with these stages right now to get this into orbit. But we also want to get it into a very high orbit. So we're gonna have to build on this. The question is, how are we gonna build on it? I am thinking that maybe we can do with just some asparagus staged side boosters on this, and then have some fuel lines, because now we also have these, the 2.5 meter nose cone tank. So this actually contains fuel instead of just being a nose cone for aerodynamics. It also, like I said, contains fuel, which is very nice. And that's something I've been missing from this game. I mean, you have some nose cones that gives you a little bit of fuel, but to have nose cones that is like just fuel and form the correct way all the way up, this just looks so much better than if I were to have taken like this one. Let's just try that out for once. If I were to take this one and then like put that on there and then a nose cone, I mean it looks pretty good, but it's not nearly as good as this, at least in my opinion. I think this looks a lot better. Let's auto strut that. Let's put another pair on here. Gonna have to drag that down a little bit to match the heights. Then we will take some fuel lines from here to here and fix the stages. There we go. Okay, now we have 14,000 meters per second in total. That might be enough. But we also have kind of a lot of power in this thing. So I think I'm gonna take one of these and plunk them on top there, so we get a little bit more fuel in these first stages where we do have that higher amount of thrust. Okay, so now the thrust is down a little bit from 1.7, 1.8 to 1.4. Still gonna get off the ground, it's still gonna fly pretty good, and we have about 1,000 meters per second more delta V. I think that's it. I don't think we need that much more. Have the antenna, we have some batteries, some solar panels, the Grav Max. So yeah, let's put this out to the launch pad, I guess. Could also actually put some stabilizers on here, just for fun. Put them in the same stage as the engines. Save and launch. I don't really know where I am in my orbit now though. Probably should have checked that first, because I want to try and match it up with the moon's orbits. So we have them going around like that in geostationary orbits. So we are actually on the opposite side of the planet of where we need to be, and now, okay, seems like our electricity is not depleting, which is good. Now we can actually set the moon as our target, just so we can check the angle as we go up. Okay, and launch. Let's go straight up for a little bit until we hit about 100 meters per second in speed. Then I will start tipping it over. Now we can set it to just point prograde, I think. I think the thrust on this thing is a little bit too high for it to just follow the curve exactly like I would like it to. But we're gonna keep it like this for now as we stage these first side boosters, just to minimize any risk of explosions, because I don't have any separation rockets on any of these on the side boosters. I normally do, just to be a little bit more safe, but I felt like I would benefit more of having more fuel on instead of having some separation boosters. Okay, and now our angle starts to become what I want it to become. We can go out here and check how much off is our angle, 6.8, and we are taking that down by pointing a little bit south, is it? Yeah, a little bit south. It's good when you have the moon in a place like this from your launch, So it's like right there. Because then I can check where it is on the nav ball and see kind of where I need to aim to get my angle to match that. And see, now it's down to 3.2, 3.1, and still decreasing. Thing is, that can start increasing at some point. And I have to go out and check that every now and then, just to make sure. And I've noticed that when they start moving around, that's basically when you need to... Oh, staging time. Wanted to be aligned before I stage those. Now I can probably just point prograde. But yeah, like I said, when these, the descending and ascending nodes, when they start moving around, that's typically when you need to stop trying to change your angle from this stage. That's when you're not going to be able to do anything else or do anything more from this point on. Probably take that down there and open up that fairing. We don't need it anymore, even though we're not outside the atmosphere totally, but it's basically no atmosphere up here. Okay, I'm gonna set it to just stabilize here. So we are losing time to apoapse. Our TWR is very good though. We are moving very quickly. Which is something that I had a big problem with in the beginning of playing around in the real solar system. That whenever I launched, I always had... I could have enough fuel and enough delta V in general, but I just didn't have the thrust, which made it so I had to point my craft upwards a lot more, and I couldn't put it down sideways as it is like right now. I had to like constantly have it a little bit upwards and fight the gravity too much, and that made me lose so much delta V that I didn't get things into orbit, which kind of sucked. Now it's increasing again. Time for stage separation. And now this stage is definitely gonna take us into orbit. So we could actually, just to be able to use all of the fuel in this stage, I'm gonna point this up a little bit more so we can gain more height than speed, because we only need about 1,000 more meters per second, and we have more than 2,000 in this stage. So now I know that as well, that this thing was a little bit overbuilt, but that's fine. I'd rather build something too big and have too much fuel than build something too small and have to redo things all the time. Can extend those solar panels now as well. We are outside the atmosphere totally. I tend to ditch the fairing when I'm over like 100 kilometers. That feels kind of safe, but I don't want to open my solar panels until I'm totally outside the atmosphere, because the solar panels, you don't want to lose them. You want to keep those on for as long as you can. Now we're gaining a lot of height, which is good. Still have 800 meters per second left in this stage. So I think we need to point even more just straight up to be able to use all of the fuel in this. We are getting quite close to getting our periapsis out of the orbit. And that stage is now going back to Earth. Could actually just keep on burning here, but I think I'm gonna cut the engine there and coast up to our apoapsis. And I'm not gonna change our angle, our ascending and descending. I'm not gonna change that right now. I'm gonna wait until we are up at the orbit that I want to, because it's gonna be less expensive to do it over there. Let's round this out a little bit. Something like... we can keep on burning and see if we can circularize this, because we're gonna have to circularize it once it's very high anyways. So I don't think it'll make that much of a difference if I start burning now or on the other side or whatever. And I'm gonna go and check once again. I did look up how high, at least in kilometers, how high up I need to be. 35,786 kilometers is what we're aiming for. I should write that down somewhere, because I am gonna forget that. I guess we can just leave this burning. Let's see. Don't I have a pen anywhere? I got so much junk in my in my desk drawer, but I have no pen. Let's see. I have a pencil case, but I just didn't have it here. Okay, let's see. How high was that again? 35,786. 786. That's how many kilometers up we need to be. So, pretty high up. Let's see where we're at now. We're just at 5,000 right now. So I guess we'll just keep on burning. And see if we can even get up there. I think we can. But this will also show, like, if we need we might need even more fuel and more delta V than we put in this thing initially. Okay, we're closing in on it now. 35.786. So we're 30, 32, 4 and 5, almost. 0.786. That's gonna be really hard to get precise, but I'm gonna try my best. Can we get to 7 on the first digit there? Let's stop throttling. Get over here. Take the thrust down to 0.5. That seems good. And now we can do this a whole lot easier. 786 we need to be at. So we need 8 there and 6 there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 6 it was. And 8.3 right now. Let's take that up to 8.6, 8.5. my eyes. 8.6. Exactly. Perfect. Now I just need to get this circularized as well. And I'm probably gonna do this in a bunch of orbits to try. Oh, I'm still in space low. I totally forgot to do any science. Take that and transmit. Gonna be in space high very soon, I think. Okay, apparently not. Thought 35 was space high. Maybe it's 36. I don't know. Okay, so maybe we'll not get up to space high. Did I transmit that? No, I did not. Okay, so we need to allow partial. We didn't have enough electricity, I guess. Oh, we did. We had just depleted some when moving around, I guess. Okay, time to apoapsis is now 25 seconds. I'm gonna take it down to like 10 seconds. Then we'll do like 20-second burns to try and get this into an orbit. Or well, it's in an orbit, but try and get this circularized. So that's gonna take a couple of orbits. Probably quite many. So maybe I should extend that a little bit. Because as of now at least, it hasn't had an impact on our apoapse height. And there it started impacting the apoapsis. And that's where I stopped. Let's go around once more. I guess we're gonna have to change up the orbit anyways when we get up there. So I might as well just burn it out all in one. Okay, we're at 35 now. 35.4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now we can take the thrust down again to 0.5 and see how precise we can get this. I'll go around to my periapsis again and change these 300 meters, 400 meters, or whatever we have gained unintentionally. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not gonna be too precise with this because I don't care that much. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a game. So I'm not gonna be an asshole about it and try and make it totally perfect. But it's still nice if I can get it kind of perfect. Okay, we can start burning again, I guess. Maybe get even closer to our apoapsis. We were like 30 seconds away from it. Now we're gonna start burning at 10. 6, 7, 8.1, and we need to get it to 8.6. Burning very slowly here. Ah! We burnt a little bit too much. So now it's our apoapsis is 4. I don't know if it's 4 kilometers or 400 meters too high. I think it's 400 meters too high. There we go. Okay. 35,786 on both. So this should be in perfect geostationary orbit right now. It's pointed radial in because it looks cool. And then start orbiting and see, are we gonna keep ourselves in the general same area? I think so. Although the Earth is moving in a weird angle. Oh, we still have this to fix. Totally forgot about that. Let's see, where do we need to... Okay, we need to burn anti-normal over here so we can do that. And hopefully, since we have such low thrust right now on, can do this without changing our height that much. Okay, we probably can, but screw it. I'm not gonna do that just because I don't feel like it. Let's just get another one and put it up there. It doesn't matter, 1.9 degrees, it's not that much. Besides, it doesn't matter that it's in a precise angle. And here it is, so we can just press launch instantly and go out to fly another rocket. It's quite nice, quite nice. Now we need to be about here. And launch. And of course I want to try and get this other relay to be on the other side. So we'll see how we are gonna make that happen. Might be a little bit difficult, but I think we can do it. I think. I'm gonna be a little bit more aggressive at the beginning now. With the flippity flip maneuver. I probably should send one of these outside of Earth's sphere of influence into interplanetary space as well. And I didn't set the moon as my target. First stage separated, and damn, those started flipping about. Good thing they did that when they were away from my craft, at least. Probably do some physical time warping here. I think we're following along the curve pretty good on our own. Don't need to do that much. I'm gonna stop it from following around here. So we can stop at about 20-25 degrees, something like that. just so we keep on climbing, and like before, that we're gonna be able to use all the fuel in this whole rocket before we go on the last stage, and that all these stages are gonna get back into Earth's atmosphere or just crash down somewhere. 'Cause that is what we want. Separate. And those did not flip at all as much. Probably because there's less atmosphere up here. I just remembered that I haven't checked the angle for a while. Can probably fix that a little bit. Yes, we can. So I don't want it to be that off. Because anything under like 3 degrees is acceptable, but over that, then it feels like it's a little bit too much. .5, 6.4. Getting there. Like always, it's a slow process. No. Flip us a little bit more to see if we can change that even quicker. Now they start moving, so I think we're not gonna be able to change that much more right now. We'll do that later on. Okay, we still have 1,000 meters per second left, so I'm gonna be pointing around 30 degrees here. Okay, a little bit different than last time, but kind of the same still. Okay. And now I made that maneuver node just so now I know that if I point forward and a little bit towards that, well, normal marker as it was, I can change our angle as I'm getting this thing into orbit. We can do 2 things at once. I'm gonna burn like this until I'm circularized. Okay. So the angle is gonna be, I guess, better on this one than it was on the last one. Which is kinda nice. We're over the Savannah now. Can open up those solar panels. Do another log of that one, because you can do you can't do the Gravamax science experiments over every different biome in both low orbit and in high orbit. No over shores, which is kind of a hard one to get. Just gonna get that one. Not gonna send it out just yet. I'm gonna wait until we have full electricity charge. Now we're gonna send it out. And now we are over water. Let's see. That was the one that we got with the other one. Okay. And now we can just time warp a bit. So I'm gonna get this up to the height that we wanted to, and then we'll do a couple of orbits and see when we should do the circularization burn to get to on the other side of this one. $35,786. Okay, we're at 35. Could do this from in here. 7. Seven, 8, 4, 7, 8, 5. 786.0. Perfect. Kind of looks like that's below, but that is... Oh, we're 1 meter off. But that is actually... that is okay. And it seems like we are kind of on the other side, so we could actually just start circularization instantly. This was not planned, but it works anyways. So I'm gonna do it. We're gonna wait a little bit more because we want to be closer to our apoapsis. But I think I'll do this burn in one take this time. Just because we're in such a good spot right now. And this is probably gonna mess up our apoapse height a little bit. But that's just something I'm gonna have to deal with. Though seems to not impact it at all so far. You can see the angles are a little bit off. Okay, we're 0.1, 0.2 off. And now it changed a whole lot more. Gonna take this down to 0.5 again. And guess go around to the periapsis. Burn retrograde to get back to 786. Now we're at 795. It was a really good idea just writing that down on a note. Because otherwise I would have had to check the Reddit that I found that on a couple of times probably. Okay, now that's perfect. Now we go around to apoapsis again. And we overdid it a little bit. But I think we're fine. Okay, 35.7 now. Now we just need that 8.6. Seven point 7 7 7 8, and I'm gonna get this one perfect first. 7 8 4 8 5 and 8. Come on. Stopped on 85.9 on our periapse height, which is right over here. So I'm gonna turn this around, because that changed our apoapsis. Our apoapsis is now over here, and it's 796. So we need to take that down 10 kilometers. Yeah. Gonna try and be very close to our periapsis here, because now the burns are gonna be very tiny. And there we go. Now that's perfect. Now we just need to go around to our apoapsis and change 0.1 kilometer, which I guess would be 100 meters. And that's that. Now it's finished. Now we have those two. We can put all of this on. So it would be nice to have a third and a fourth one, so we can have total coverage of the Earth. But in general, I'm just gonna be using these as comms for things in orbit and for things that are outside of Earth. So these now connect to my two probes that are already out here, and they help with the connection to my things that are around Venus and around Mars. Now, I do think that it would be a good idea to have something outside of Mars's orbit. Something like outside here. Probably closer to Vesta and Ceres, the dwarf planets that nobody talks about. Because I want to try and get to Jupiter sometime in the future. And then it would be nice to have something in the middle here. So that is our next mission. And we're probably gonna need more than 5,000 meters per second for that. So I think I'll use the same one, but we'll add on some more fuel on the upper stage here. And maybe we should add on 2 more solar panels as well, because we're gonna have less. The solar panels are gonna produce less fuel, less electricity. Let's rename this as well. Interplan relay. So I know that it's an interplanetary relay. I'm gonna take these, put them alongside here, and see, now we have 5,500. Build that up, we have 6,000. Then we'll put some on there as well. Now we have 7,500. I think that'll be enough. And it still fits in the fairing, so I don't really need to do anything. Just make sure that we have struts on everything. We do. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Just an easy little fix there. Save and launch. Now, now my problem is that now I'm gonna have to get this thing into orbit. Probably with that bottom stage. And then try and ditch that some other way. Because once again, okay, we are in a pretty good place to launch, I think. So we're gonna launch, and we're gonna set the moon as our target again, because the moon is like on the same plane as all the other planets, and I want to have it on that plane basically. But to get as far out as possible, we are kind of in a good spot to gain more height and have our periapsis down here. But I think I'm not gonna take any chances. So we're gonna get this whole thing into orbit, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of burning with that. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4th stage before getting to the 5th stage, and then we'll have to go out to our apoapsis, burn a little, and get it back into the atmosphere, and then get out. Yeah, it's all gonna make sense once I do it. I know it sounds a bit wacky, because it is a bit wacky. And it is time for stage separation. Should make a song about that. The stage separation song. While it is time for some stage separation. It's time stage separation. I know I need to point a little bit south, because I've always had to do that when trying to match my angle with the moon. So let's just begin doing that now. And we can still see the KSC. I think that's kind of funny that when you play in the real solar system mod, you're still launching most of, or at least I'm still launching most of my rockets from the KSC, which is the Kerbal Space Center, but also in real life the Kennedy Space Center, which also becomes the KSC. Maybe they did that intentionally. I don't know. If they didn't, it's a fun coincidence. But I think somebody thought of that. They're like, oh, Kerbals. Hey, let's name it the Kerbal Space Center, because then we have something we can relate to. Cool, right? And once again, I can tell you that the angle is not the most important thing. It's a bit more important now, in a way that I want to have it in about this angle. But then again, the other planets and stuff, they're not exactly aligned with the moon in its angle, so it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, doesn't matter that much when we get to interstellar space. Or no, interplanetary space. Oh, you know what? That's something I haven't done yet. Sending something out into interstellar space. I just haven't tried it. Because I haven't had the rockets for it. Well, in the science save, I haven't had the rockets for it. But I kinda do now. Could probably send... maybe not something like this. But if I were to build something small like this, but with more stages, maybe some asparagus staged side boosters and stuff, I could probably get it into interstellar space. And that would be quite awesome. I'm thinking maybe I should do that now. I was just planning to have a short stream today, sending out these relays, but maybe we can do something a little bit extra. Just to have a little bit of extra fun. As you do, you know, sending something into interstellar space. I just realized that maybe we shouldn't, or maybe we won't have to like do a little bit of a boost and then a boost back burn and stuff for this stage. Maybe we could just ditch it, because now this is a lot heavier, so it has taken a bunch more fuel out of this stage to get it into orbit. So yeah, I think we can just ditch this, because we're probably... yeah, we just have 200 meters per second in that. It's not too much. I'm gonna put it at 40 kilometers and ditch that. Boost away from it a little bit. And then get up to Apoaps and do our circularization burn. But let's see how far out we get with this first. And we could actually make a maneuver node just to see, like, how much do I actually need in delta V to, like, totally exit. Okay, the moon is probably gonna be in our way when doing this burn. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. We need to burn on the totally other side. Somewhere around here, I guess. Okay, so we need to burn about 5,000 to get out there. So maybe let's just try and get above Mars. Because I want to try and circularize, or at least kind of circularize this. Oh yeah, and I can't see how much that is going to be when I'm done with that. But let's just try first and see how much would we need. Well, we need more than we have in this. Is that Jupiter? Okay, we got some encounters with Jupiter there, and some with Saturn. And with Uranus. We're gonna get one with Neptune. Okay, we weren't that lucky. Okay, so I guess we need about just a little bit over 10,000 I mean, that's kind of doable. Ah, hey, ECLT1, also known as the fiancé. But as I was saying, to get something into interstellar space, it's not too much fuel that we actually need to do that. I mean, 10,000 it's a lot, but it's not impossible. Could probably do it, especially if I had some neon thrusters or something. That would not be like a big problem. That could be done. But let's get this thing into interplanetary space first. Let's take one thing at a time. We need to burn around there. Okay. It's a 10-minute burn. Like I said, it's a 10-minute burn. So I think I'll divide it into 3 burns. Started a little bit early there, or late. Let's divide it into 3, or will it be 4? No, 3. 3-minute burns. Yeah, so we don't have to linger around too long in just the same spot doing the same burn. And that's also going to make it at least a little bit more efficient. I don't know exactly how much you actually save from doing multiple burns. It doesn't feel like it's a lot, but it feels like it's at least like notable. Now we can just make this into a 3-minute burn. There we go. I'm not gonna time warp too much now. 1:30 and burn. Halfway done now. Oh, totally forgot about changing our angle. Screw that. I think we'll be fine anyways. I'm gonna burn a little bit extra on this stage. Just because this is the last burn before we do the real last burn. Okay, let's get out here again. I want to get to somewhere around here. So we're pretty good height above Mars, but not too close to Vesta. I don't think, since Vesta is a very small planet, It is a dwarf planet after all. I don't think we're in that big of a risk of crashing into it or getting a gravity assist that will throw us off anywhere. But still, it feels better to keep a safe distance. Not be too close. So this is gonna be about a 4-minute burn, 4 minutes and 11 seconds. So let's start burning at 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Oh, and I forgot to open my solar panel, so I didn't have any electricity. So yes, I did open the cheat menu there, but I think it's okay to open the cheat menu when it's something like that could have been avoided. It was just me forgetting to press a button, and I feel like it's okay. It's not gonna hurt anyone, and it doesn't like help me with the mission. Oh well, it does help me because it keeps the mission going, but it just like, you get what I mean. It doesn't give me anything. It doesn't give me any delta V or anything like that. It just helps me to keep on going. I just don't have to restart the whole thing. Okay, halfway there with the burn. We're still... Okay, now we are leaving Earth's sphere of influence. Hopefully we're gonna be able to circularize this once we're done. Stop there, and now it's just a matter of time warping. But when we get into interplanetary space, I am gonna make a little stop in the time warping process and take some data from the gravity scan, because we can get a little bit of data, so why not? Now let's get up here. Point this thing prograde. Get a bit closer to our apoapsis. We're still 6 hours away from apoapsis. And now we are 1 year and 265 days away from it. I guess we're gonna be burning out this whole, the whole amount of fuel that we have, probably, to try and circularize this. The very fun part about having these engines, the nerve engines. The endless burning. I just hope that we aren't gonna be stranded like too close to Mars. Right now it feels like we are gonna be, which could be problematic. But okay, it looks like we're gonna at least be outside. Not by much. And it feels like we are pretty close over here, but Yeah, okay, we got out far enough, I think, for us to not have to worry that much that we're gonna intersect Mars and get a slingshot somewhere. But okay, good. Now we have a relay out here. The best thing about this relay is that it's gonna help us not only when we go to like Jupiter, but it's also gonna help us with a lot of our probes inside of our, Mars. And on Mars, if we go there again. I'm probably gonna send something there again. Would be nice to land a rover there someday. Let's go back to the Space Center. Sorry for that. I had something I needed to take care of. Okay, we don't have enough to get any... yeah, we don't have enough science to unlock anything. But let's see if we could build something. I think I'll build something new. I'm gonna try and build it real quick. Just something very small and simple. That is gonna be sent into interstellar space. Once again, the small reaction wheel and a battery. And some solar panels. We don't need any... yeah, we don't need anything else on this actually. Let's start out with one of those small ones. Or actually, no, let's take that one. Strut that up. And let's see. How much delta V does this have? That's 3000. So let's build something like this. Then duplicate these. And take some more of those nose cone thingies to make it look a little bit better. And drag some few lines into this. Okay, so that is gonna give us 10,700 meters per second. Which technically is enough. But I think I'm gonna go safe and put a little bit more on there. So now we have 11,000. This is just gonna be a long ass burn. But I want to try it. I want to see if I can send this out into interstellar space. It's not going to do anything out there. I'm not going to be getting any more science or anything, I think. Maybe just put it in a very big elliptical orbit. We'll see what we'll do. I'm gonna take these up just a nudge. It's gonna be easier to build a fairing around this. Interstellar. I think that's how it spells. I don't know. Inglesa ist nicht mein första language. And by that, you can try and figure out where I'm from. Which is not gonna be the easiest. Okay, there we go. Stage just got a bit messed up. Now we take this long one and put the best engine we have on there, which is the mainsail. That is actually not enough to keep us airborne. So I'm gonna do something that's a little bit weird. Just gonna stick 4 of those together. Put some of those fuel nose cones on there. And then we'll take these and make stages outside here. So the core is gonna look like it has stages, but it actually doesn't. Which I know is a little bit weird, but that's just how we're gonna have to roll. Then we're gonna make these outer stages kinda big. Take some fuel lines. There they are. From out there to in there. And also let's make sure we have struts on those. And on these as well. Okay, so this is still not enough to take us all the way into orbit. We don't really have any good separation boosters. I'm gonna have to improvise a little bit. But I have done this before and it has actually worked surprisingly well to use these solid rocket boosters and just jam them in here. Use those for the separation. Really does work surprisingly well. There we go. Hopefully this will be enough now, because I don't really want to put anything else on here. Now let's fix the staging before we check the delta V. Those are the outer ones with those boosters. Yes, then these are gonna be with these. Gonna take those down here. I guess that's... no, that's that engine. Okay, that was actually placed correctly. Okay, so let's see now. Start off all these engines first. Decouple those. Then decouple those. Then decouple that. Start that engine. Put that fairing. Open the fairing. Decouple that. Start those 4. And decouple them 2 at a time. Yes! Okay. So I think we're good now. Save and let's launch. This is probably the rocket with the most delta V that I have ever built so far. It has 21,000, I think it said. Which is not too bad. Gonna make sure that we launch. At least launch kind of in the right position. And we're out of electricity. Which means we can't do shit. So once again, I'm gonna be cheating. By giving us infinite electricity. No. I'm only gonna use it for a short while. And damn, this thing is flying fast. Forget how much thrust you get. When you start stacking up engines on engines like that and you don't add more fuel to the stages. Just add the same amount of fuel in the same engine. Then of course, if you have above 1, then that's gonna multiply as well. Oh no. Press the home button. I'm gonna take down the thrust a little bit. So as you can see, we get these signs of air resistance. The air flowing down on the sides, that means we are going too fast for being this low inside the atmosphere. And soon time to decouple the first stage. And our angle is not what I want it to be. Damn, those flipped out. Okay, let's start pushing this thing down a little bit. Push up the throttle as well. Set us here to 30 degrees. Do some time warping. Probably change these to orbit now. Set a point at target. Keep on time warping. Where's our TWR? We're almost at 4 now. We are surpassing 4 just before we need to ditch this stage. Damn, got a little bit of explosions there. Guess I had a bit too much fuel in those separation boosters. Maybe I could have gone with a lot less. And it's dumb that we're hanging on to this fairing. I just don't feel like changing the stages and stuff. Well, we can ditch it now instead. Oh, fuck. My solar panels are in the way. Those are the first one I'm gonna ditch. I fucked up the stages. Or the placement, I would rather say. So you know what, maybe this it's not gonna work because it's not gonna be able to hold any electricity. So if we try and extend these, I guess they're just gonna break. Oh no. It holds itself just above the fuel tank. It might explode sometime in the future though. That is a big possibility. Stop the burning there. Goes up to our apoapsis. And do the rest of the burn here. Okay, we still have about 1,000 meters per second left. We are gonna burn around here, not around there. So let's do this maneuver. Seems like it's saying that we do have enough delta V. Okay, so we're gonna burn out. We're gonna burn for about a minute with this stage. I'm not gonna do all of that burn time for 20 minutes. We're gonna try and burn out as much as possible in this stage first. Which is just gonna be a bit over a minute burn. We can time warp quite a lot. Till about here. And just burn off until we just have a little bit left in this stage. Can get rid of that maneuver node. Go up to our apoapsis. God, I'm gonna take away all of that. Keep that one on. And then we're gonna burn. And turns out that was not enough. Well then, screw that stage anyways. And let's point this thing prograde. Get it into a bit of a higher orbit. And now it's gonna be multiple burns. I guess. Yeah, let's do like almost a 4-minute burn here. Let's burn out this whole first stage, basically. And I know now, from just the information that I got there, that I can just burn through this stage. then when we are up at our apoapsis, we're gonna turn around once again and ditch this stage. This stage will go into and splash into the Earth's ocean somewhere. I hope that it doesn't fall on the KSC or something. But I know that will work. Because of course this stage we don't, not only do we have the possibility to now save more fuel because we knew how that went last time. We're also gonna be further up, so we're gonna have to use less. And we also have the other engines to push us, which we sadly enough didn't have on the other stage. Put that in there. Ditch those first ones and now turn around again. Try to move away a little bit. And now we go around here. And now I guess can just do this the rest of this burn now. It's gonna be the longest and biggest burn that I have ever made. I think, no, yeah, we're not even done yet. There we go. So it is possible. It's gonna be a 15-minute burn. So let's start burning at about 7 minutes and 30 seconds, I guess. And yeah. This is just gonna have to burn now. Maybe we should point ourselves at our maneuver node marker actually. Hopefully this won't put us inside the atmosphere again. I don't think it will. We're about 100 kilometers above. I think we're fine. Okay, 4 minutes until stage separation, so I have time. And time for booster separation. And now I can in good conscience extend that other solar panel. Halfway there. I think I'm gonna go pee, do some other stuff, and then I'll come back to this. This is just gonna burn for couple of more minutes, so I don't really need to sit here and just watch that. I'll be back in a sec. And we're almost done. This did not take as long as I thought it was gonna take. And I'm not gonna do the whole burn because we don't need to. It does say we're gonna go into interstellar space now, so I'm gonna leave it there. And we still have 1,500 meters per second left, which I think is kind of cool. But cool. Now we have an interstellar probe that's gonna go out and, I don't know, do shit. It's not gonna survive forever though, since we only have solar panels on it. And I don't have the RTGs unlocked yet. But cool. We can at least time warp until it's on its way from its periapsis. No apoapse. Time to apoapse. Infinity. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. That's pretty cool. Anyhow, next time, I guess it's time to try and go to maybe make a flyby of Ceres or Vesta, or maybe go to Jupiter. Probably gonna be a flyby there as well. Maybe try and hit some of the other planets. I know I have the possibility now and the means to get there with, well, the nerve engine. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do next time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good one. Bye bye.